Okay, I have a couple other contestants for Facebook Idiots on Parade. I responded to a post by the Ames Tribune, and two people, supposedly very educated women, Linda Kramer and Adelheid Elizabeth Spitzli, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'll let you go read the Ames Tribune article yourself, but I said, leave unemployment to the states as it should be. It is not one of Congress's enumerated powers. Right now, states like California, and I have all the data for this, right now, states like California, Illinois, New York are using the nationalization of this program to get people who are working in states like Iowa and Texas to pay much of their working age labor force to get paid to do nothing. Under Biden, you will see the labor force participation rate continue to fall. You will see unemployment duration increase, and you will see states like New York, California, and Illinois see how long they can pay as many people as possible to not work. Leaving this completely to each state. If California wants to pay half their state to do nothing, they can raise the money for it. Leaving this to each state, and then you will see a lot of problems disappear. That's not a perfect system, not even close, but it is a step in the right direction. Adelheid said California, New York's unemployment rate is 7.5%. Illinois is 7%. Pretty sure that's not half the people. I responded, the non-lockdown states never had a shelter-in-place or stay-at-home order, have much, much lower numbers of unemployed folks per 100,000 non-farm employment than the states I refer to as the lockdowns. Those states have higher rates of unemployment, lower labor force participation rates, and higher COVID-19 death rates. But they got a lot of mass, and that virtue signaling matters. I ran all the data on this, and will do so in about 6 months. Again, Democrat states are using the federal teat to bribe folks into being paid to not work. I know that's almost unbelievable, as Democrats are the hardest working folks on the planet. I hope you detected that sarcasm. Then I gave her a link to something I wrote on this. It's long and detailed, which means most people probably won't even bother. If you can't fit it on the back of a business card, I don't want it. I ran all the data there. The unemployment rate is basically garbage, as it can appear much better due to lots of folks dropping out of the labor force completely, which happened a lot under Obozo and is happening a lot under Biden. Trump had a better, for example, black labor force participation rate than Obama. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. Tell me, say it ain't so, because Trump's racist, though. It will continue to fall under Biden, as I predicted many months ago. Apparently, you cannot detect sarcasm either. No response to that as of yet. Linda said, "How exactly?" This is a good one. How exactly are California, Illinois, New York forcing Iowa to pay for unemployment? This is just another rehash of the old unemployed people are lazy trope. Apparently, she doesn't realize that unemployment is a federally run program. I don't know. She probably doesn't know that. I responded to Linda by referring her to my response to Adelheid, and then added the following. The non-lockdowns, the states that never had a shelter-in-place or stay-at-home order, have much lower numbers of unemployed folks per 100,000 non-farm employment than the states I refer to as the lockdowns. Those states have rates of unemployment, lower labor force participation rates, higher rates of unemployment, lower labor force participation rates, and higher COVID-19 death rates. I ran all the data, and I've been through this again. P.S. Unemployment, I put unemployment are a federal program. My bad. Unemployment is a federal program. That should be changed. It should be left to each individual state. Do you concur? And I don't think she probably doesn't. No response, of course. I think their Rolodex of talking points broke. A few days later, I added this as a rebuttal to both of them, and that Facebook post where I put a lot of my data on the Iowa lockdown, because there was a article being autistically repeated last October of 2020. Iowa never locked down. This economy is struggling anyways. And I debunked that BS. And I put a lot of that data in a Facebook post. I told them I took the liberty of putting a lot of the data, but not all of it, as it is immense, in a Facebook post that proves my point about Democrat states taking advantage of the federalization of unemployment benefits. What ye say now? And they have said nothing. It's obvious. Democrat trifectas or states that lean Democrat have far more folks before or during the pandemic per 100,000 on-farm jobs taking unemployment than states that are GOP trifectas. The Democrats just want to create a permanent underclass. That is why you see, and I hope they take that bet for fiscal years 2022 and 2023, the labor force participation rate for blacks will be lower under Biden than it was Trump if you average it out before the pandemic or after the pandemic. That's my bet. The Democrats just want to create a permanent underclass. That is why you see millions of unskilled migrants, not H-1Bs or those who are skilled. That's why you see these unskilled migrants coming over the border unabated. This is why Obama's recovery, and I got the data on that too if you want to challenge me, was very slow and very anemic. This is why Joe Biden's recovery, in quotation marks, will be slow and anemic. The Democrats want to pay as many people as they can to do basically nothing. This may unfortunately snare good people, but they do not care. You will see, per the bet I just mentioned, a much lower black labor force participation rate under Biden, blah, blah, blah. I etched that. You can etch that in the concrete. I mentioned that. These are some other comments I added on Facebook, Idiots on Parade. I'll have the link underneath the video. Pass it on if you find it worthy. You will see longer durations of unemployment under Joe Biden. Etch that in the concrete. We should empower folks and allow them to defer some of their paycheck towards an unemployment fund rather than having Washington unconstitutionally manage it. I have a pretty good job. I actually enjoy going to work. If I was able to put tax defer 2% of my paycheck since I started there, I would have a mountain right now. And in the unlikely event I would lose my job, I could literally sit around for years. I wouldn't do that. That's not wise. But I could. Democrat-run states will take advantage of this so taxpayers in Iowa or Texas, or those who do work, get to pay for it. In a world not full of insanity, all one would pay is a head tax, and the IRS would not even exist, because the Democrats want the IRS to exist because they want to know if you're spending a little too much money from what you reported, then they're going to audit you and they will destroy you. How's that for empowering people? Just pay the head tax and that's it. Then you can save for your own retirement. But these people do not want that. They want a cradle-to-grave, top-down, one-size-fits-all, money-back guarantee, federalized unemployment program that may or may not extend unemployment benefits for longer durations to gain votes. The best response they could muster, aside from talking about a basically useless unemployment rate, was to accuse me of hating unemployed people. I suppose I hate black folks or any other pet group that you want to use as a political human shield because I favor Social Security reform. Washington is not doing me a favor by stealing 12.4% of every dollar I make and saving it for me later. Linda and Adelheid are your typical Facebook users who are adept at short, emotionally laced rants, but not much for details.